Voyage of Shadows, the Ghost Ship, the tale of the Emerald Rose. In the year 1735, a grand ship, the Emerald Rose, set sail from England, bound for the bustling ports of Europe. Her mission: to trade fine English goods for the treasures of the continent. For 3 long months, she sailed under the watchful eye of Captain Robert Blackwood, a man of iron will and unyielding determination, yet fair. He believed hard work should be rewarded. The Emerald Rose set sail on a beautiful sunny day on the 15th of July, 1735. Setting out from the east coast town of Hull, the port there was always busy. The sea was calm on this day and sailing conditions were perfect. The journey was successful. The Emerald Rose's hold was filled with silks, spices, and other treasures. The captain was happy. The journey had been rewarding and his coffers were overflowing. He had more than enough to pay the crew's wages and even had enough to pay them a bonus, for his crew had worked hard and done well on the journey. But as the ship turned homeward, a dark omen loomed on the horizon, one that would seal the fate of the ship and her crew. Night was falling as the Emerald Rose neared the English coast, but the town they were returning to was not the same as the one they had left. A terrible plague had swept through, claiming countless lives. The townsfolk, in their despair, had lit need fires, ancient beacons meant to ward off evil spirits. But this night, there was a different evil afoot, as Captain Blackwood and his crew were about to discover. The full moon shone above, but soon, even this light would not be enough. As they drew nearer to the English coast, a sinister green fog began to rise from the sea, enveloping the ship. The captain ordered his crew to search for the lighthouse light, a beacon to guide them home safely, for the rocky coastline could be treacherous. As the Emerald Rose got closer, so the fog seemed to get thicker. Captain Blackwood sent his best lookout up into the ship's crow's nest to watch for the lighthouse. A light was suddenly seen, and the excited crewman called down that he had spotted the light. Blackwood ordered the rudderman to steer for the light. Only as they drew closer did the captain realize his folly. Captain Robert Blackwood recognized where they were, a rocky cove about half a mile short of the port. The light they had followed had not been the lighthouse. Too late, he gave the order to steer to starboard. The entire crew heard the sound of the wooden hull scraping as the ship raked across the rocks. Blackwood glanced at his first officer, who instantly sent 2 crewmen down into the ship to check the hull's condition. There was a huge sigh of relief when the crewman reported that the hull was intact. Neither man had noticed the water trickling down the hull's inner surface in their dim lantern light. The hull had taken damage, and even now, as the ship headed back into deeper waters, the growing water pressure, coupled with the waves pounding the side of the ship, began to weaken the hull. The split in the planks visible only on the ship's exterior began to get larger. Though they had managed to pull free, the ship had suffered a mortal wound. Upon reaching the deeper waters, the captain sensed something was wrong. The Emerald Rose was suddenly sluggish and was not responding well to the rudderman's attempt to steer them back towards the land. Instead, they were headed further out to sea. Blackwood had the same 2 crewmen go back and check again. This time, their report sent chills up the seasoned captain's spine. The ship was taking on water, and not just a little. The crew worked frantically, but the damage was too severe. The ship began to list. The water rushed in faster than they could bail it out. Slowly, the ship began to lean to the port side as water flooded in and the cargo shifted. Finally, the captain gave the command to abandon ship, but as the ship began to lean more and more quickly, they couldn't launch the lifeboats. The sea, merciless and unyielding, claimed the Emerald Rose. As one by one, the crew was lost to the depths, their cries swallowed by the night. All hands were lost. The legend of the Emerald Rose did not end with her sinking, for it is said that whenever calamity strikes and death comes to claim many lives within the coastal town that she is seen in, the ghostly ship returns. Her return a warning that, like her captain's command to abandon ship, is too late to help anyone. Her arrival is always heralded by the sinister green fog, a warning of the doom that is to come. It is also said that anyone that looks upon her visage with binoculars or telescope will behold the ghostly crewmen trapped in their endless voyage of shadows, forever to sail the seas, and that those that see this sight will be dead within 48 hours. Beware the green fog that rises from the sea, for it brings with it the spectre of death. The emerald rose sails again, a harbinger of sorrow, and a reminder of the past that will not stay buried. The tale of the emerald rose lives on, a chilling reminder that some spirits can never be laid to rest.